Welcome to Loco Gringo, Mexico, the place where we transform a tourist into a traveler, because you deserve to see more of the world than just what's in a guidebook. Each week, we talk with amazing locals who know the Riviera Maya and Yucatan like only a local can, and get them to share their tips and insights on the local scene, culture, and cuisine from a local's perspective. So, pour yourself a margarita, grab a comfy chair, and let's get the show going.
Buenos dias, everyone. This is Loco Gringo, Mexico. I'm your host, Kay Walton. So glad to have you with us today. Well, you know, the one beautiful thing about this show is I get the opportunity to talk to so many interesting people. We've had authors and chefs and photographers and divers. And today we have a doctor, Dr. Luis David Suarez, who's originally from Mexico City. He's a general practitioner. He's studied anesthesiology, human pharmacology, and physiology. And over the years, he's received degrees in acupuncture and phytotherapy. We're going to talk about that because I wasn't sure what phytotherapy was. He has a company here in Playa del Carmen called SANAR, which provides health services in the areas of integrative medicine. And he's going to tell us a little bit more about integrative medicine. Dr. Suarez is always seeking to expand the range of natural therapies that can benefit his patients. And he has subsequently been trained in ozone therapy, which we'll also talk about today. He's a pioneer in the Yucatan Peninsula in neural therapy and regenerative injection therapy that includes the latest technologies such as platelet-rich plasma and adipose tissue stem cells. Hey, Luis, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Kay. I'm excellent. How about you?
I'm fine, thanks. Hey, so glad you could join me today because you know what? I've been to your clinic, and I thought you'd be a really interesting guest to have on our show here at Loco Gringo. Now, originally you're from Mexico City, but yet you have SANAR, which is a medical clinic in Playa del Carmen. So can you tell me a little bit, not only how you got from Mexico City to Playa del Carmen, but then a little bit about your clinic and all the services that you do?
Well, 10 years ago in 2006, we moved down here, me and my wife. We moved over here just in search of really new opportunities. We were living in Mexico City. I had just finished the residency and specialty in medical acupuncture and phytotherapy. And we just decided we needed new horizons from Mexico City. And we found that Playa had a thriving economy and a very interesting mix of cosmopolite society. And we decided to move over here. And we always had this idea and this project of the clinic as a little hub of integrative medicine where you can find a scientific, or what as I like to call it, hegemonic medicine, the one that is taught in all medical schools and the one that you can find in all the hospitals, but also blending in a lot of other different things that we think that are helpful and provide a more integral approach to health. Like the first thing, of course, is acupuncture. So it's a specialty in medical acupuncture and phytotherapy. So that's one of my best of the things that we do most. And then along the way, once we moved here and we started the practice, we were blessed in this community because we found a very eager population to receive this kind of services. And being people that have moved to Playa over the years, I think we were all looking for new lifestyles or healthier ways to approach to our life. And a project like the one that we have, that is integrative medicine, where you can find, like I say, scientific, allopathic, or hegemonic medicine as a center that guides the diagnosis and guides the process of the patient. But we can integrate a bunch of what we call now complementary or integrative medicines, like it would be acupuncture or traditional Chinese medicine. We also do ozone therapy, neural therapy. We have colonic hydrotherapy. We have nutritional counseling that has become one of the most important pieces of the practice here, because we are what we eat, and we heal in terms of what we're eating or not eating. And all of those things we just figured out along the way. I don't think that we were taught all this in medical school. This has been a long journey of learning, and we've learned a lot here with the people in Playa. We found a lot of patients that have been a lot more educated than we had in the past about a lot of different issues like nutrition and different ways to care of your body. So I think it's a perfect, it was a perfect match, or has been a perfect match for the last 10 years, and we've been thriving here, and we've been very happy to provide these services along the years. We have made many friends and patients, and we've been able to help, I think, a lot of people with this approach.
Can you tell me, I've been there, actually, I had colonic therapy a couple of years ago there. And so I am familiar with a lot of the services that you have. What is, though, I'm not familiar with the term, is it phytotherapy?
Yeah, phytotherapy refers to therapy with plants. Really, it's like herbology. But the difference with phytotherapy is that you made it a little bit more scientific. You process from the raw herbs, and you may be having now pills or tinctures or more elaborated forms to administer herbs. So it's really just a more scientific term to refer to herbology or to herbs. And the license or the title, the university title that I hold, it says the specialty in medical acupuncture and phytotherapy. And we were really taught a little about Chinese herbs. I mean, Chinese herbs is like a bunch of, it's a huge topic. And what we were taught in those 3 years that I made my specialty really doesn't cover the whole bunch of things that should be covered. But like I said, along the way, I've been able to learn a lot of other different things, including plants and other stuff.
And another thing that was interesting that I was reading on some of the information that you sent me before the call today was ozone therapy. Now, the only reason I have heard about ozone therapy is that I know that one of my neighbors uses ozone therapy for some of her dogs who have serious arthritis, and I knew it was used more for people than with animals. But what does ozone therapy do in general for people, and why do you offer it?
Well, ozone therapy really it's a very interesting and very versatile gas, because it is a gas. And it's like that. It is just really more. We should treat it more like a drug, and we can use it in very different settings. What it really does is activate your antioxidant system. Ozone is a very powerful oxidant. It has an extra electron, an unpaired electron. Its chemical formula it's O3, different than O2 from oxygen. And that extra electron, that extra molecule, it's unpaired, meaning that it's unstable. And ozone wants to donate this unpaired, unstable molecule to any other thing that is around. That we call in chemistry oxidation. When we administer ozone in the way we do, we are looking to elicit a reaction from your antioxidant system. So boosting the antioxidant system has a wide different array of different applications that we can relate to different diseases. A lot of the diseases that we have nowadays are related to oxidative stress or the accumulation of oxidants, toxic oxidants in the cell or within the cell environment. And ozone helps us to clean those oxidants because we boost the natural antioxidants of the body. That is basically what it does. But in that basis, we can apply this, and we use it for pain management. We use it to treat infections. We use it just to boost the immune system. We use it also as a means for anti-aging and detoxification therapy. So it has a wide array of different applications. Ozone therapy is very versatile. Yeah.
That's very interesting. I might have to come in now for if it is anti-aging. I'd like to be maybe some treatment can take me back, and I can be maybe 35 again.
For sure.
For sure.
For
okay.
sure, we can help you with that. I don't know how far we can push it to where we can try.
Okay, great. Now, I know that medical vacations, and a lot of people have been coming to Mexico for various types of more medical treatments, medical, dental, cosmetics, and everything. What type of treatments? I mean, do you see people coming to Playa del Carmen and coming to SANAR for a medical type vacation? Do you have services that what type of services can people come and experience if they come down more on a medical type vacation?
Yes, well, all the services that we offer, we can tailor them to whatever time our patient or the visitor has here. Over the years, we've been doing a lot of ozone therapies. It's just not available, or it's not as widely available. Now it's more available, but it wasn't available a few years ago. Ozone therapy in the States And in Canada now, a lot more doctors are starting to practice it, even if the FDA regards it as a non-useful therapy. But anyways, ozone therapy, for example, we've treated a lot of patients with ozone over the years that come for cycles of treating different things, like from Lyme disease to herniated discs to, like I said, since it's a versatile thing, from like I said, Lyme, Hep C. We have patients that have come for cycles of ozone over the years, and that repeat. They come next year, like the snowbirds that come every year, every winter. They come and repeat some of the treatments that we have, and also year by year we've been receiving some other patients for basically more pain management and knee regeneration, for example, hip arthritis, using some of the most advanced therapies available nowadays, which would be stem cells and platelet-rich plasma, no? Which we also do in a touristic, or we offer those to people that visit in a short term of period of time.
One process that I had when I visited the clinic a while ago was, and I don't know what I don't know what the exact name of it is where I put my hands on a metal plate, the diagnostic scanner, and that was the first time that I had experienced that. And what I had found was interesting was that through this electronic scanner was that it indicated that I had a thyroid issue, which I did not know. And on a trip back to the United States, I had gone to the doctor and stuff, and lo and behold, they said, "Oh, you have a thyroid problem." I went, "Oh, well, I found that out from the diagnostic I had done at SANAR," and I found that diagnostic to be very, very interesting. And now over the years, I've seen some other holistic centers use that as well. Is that more and more common? Is it a standard practice, or is that just something kind of more of a holistic type practice?
Well, look, this technology has made its way now into more conventional medicine. It's a really remarkable technology. It's called bioimpedance. And the scanner that we have here also combines bioimpedance technology with the digital pool waveform analysis and some other technologies. But the interesting part is the guy that started this, it's a very scientific oriented. He doesn't like homeopathy. He doesn't like acupuncture. He's a neurologist. He's a French neurologist. His name is Albert Marek. And he developed this first in the 1980s. And the first market that could understand this technology was not the conventional doctor. So it was more the acupuncturists and the naturopathic doctors, because the kind of information that we have is really an analysis of the autonomic nervous system, the analysis of body composition and electrolytes and fluids and tissues in our body, how are they composed. Because we're sending electricity, and what we're reading really is the dispersion of this electricity in different tissues. And all this programming, all this knowledge comes from, it's way old, comes from way back in the 1960s. They started testing in the Soviet Union. And, since it was a communist country, well, they could test anybody and see and test healthy people, unhealthy people. This is how we came up with a big database of how electricity behaves in tissues and how electricity changes the complexity of proteins when we're shooting electricity through a tissue. So, yeah, it's a very interesting technology. We use it a lot. This is one of the things that a lot of people that come as visitors can do in a brief period of time. Just have a diagnostic scanner, and we've been able to help a lot of people in finding out things that are there, and that by other means of technology would be harder and harder to find. So it's very interesting. We've been using it for almost 7 years now, and it's remarkable. I mean, it's not the newest one. There's things that are even more impressive in terms of graphics, and they say quantum mechanics. But I got to tell you, this scanner, it stands for what it says. I mean, they have removed a lot of things over the years that are not accurate, and what we see is really, really accurate.
No, I've been really impressed with it, and actually now I have it done at least once a year. Kind of, it's just just as if you would have a diagnostic on your car, an electronic diagnostic on the car. I do it. I go and have that. I have that diagnostic run more as a baseline to just kind of see where my body's at.
Now that you mentioned that, so
I don't. It was a while ago.
You were here in 2011. Yeah, it was a while ago.
Okay.
We were at our old location. We were still downtown. We were still downtown, close to the Walmart and close to the municipality. Now we're in Plaza Progreso, a few blocks away from there. But
okay. I guess I didn't realize you guys had changed offices. I still thought you were over behind Walmart.
No, now we're in the highway. We're in the highway in Plaza Progreso. It's a much more convenient location. You know, downtown, it was a mess to park, and we have a lot of patients that come on wheelchair or that need assistance, you know, with their cars. And over there, it's just really too complicated, and it was getting to be a headache. And this way, here we have a lot of parking space and a lot more ease to access. And since we also see a lot of patients that come either from Puerto Morelos or Cancun or some from Tulum, Portaventura, the highway is a very good location. Also for everybody here in Playa, it's easy to park.
And parking can definitely be a problem downtown. Well, it was 2011, huh? I guess, okay, so I need to make an appointment then for my diagnostic for 2017.
Yeah, for a follow-up.
For a follow-up, for sure. So, Luis, you know, now that you're so ingrained in the Playa del Carmen community and the Riviera Maya, I mean, what keeps you here? What's your passion outside of the clinic? What holds you here to the area? And granted, the weather's beautiful.
Yeah, well, I think that still this is one of the most dynamic areas economic-wise of Mexico. I think the Riviera Maya still has a lot of potential to keep growing economically, and that's one of the reasons that I still think this is the place to be. And of course, this is a place that I like a lot, the kind of society that's been the mix of very cosmopolite things. And like I said, we have a very wide array of offers of health-oriented and mindful-oriented choices here. And I think much more so, maybe because it's a small place, I think it's a big cluster of all these things. If you go to Mexico City, if you go to other places of Mexico, you'll find it, but it's in a much more larger area. Here, I think we have a concentration of a bunch of good things that make it appealing. Also, I love to dive. I love to scuba dive, and I love the beach, so it just makes sense to be around here.
Absolutely. It's the environment's just it's a wonderful attraction, and I think it's what holds many of us here. I ask all of our guests on the show is, what are some of your secret spots that, you know, when you've got time off there, you like to go to, whether it's to go chill out somewhere or go somewhere to eat? Where are some of the places that you go that you could recommend visitors coming to the area where they can get a good sense of more of an authentic experience? You know, it's not just staying in a big resort, but I really experience the area.
Yeah, I really like going when I have time and I can get away for a couple of days or maybe for a couple of nights. There's a secret spot that I like a lot. It's called Upaima, and it's on the road that goes to Holbox. It's actually a few kilometers, I think 9 kilometers past San Angel, and a few kilometers before getting to Solferino. Just before getting to Solferino and Chiquila on the road to Holbox. And this is just a little jungle retreat. It's a jungle house in a beautiful spot. It's a beautiful piece of jungle with huge trees. And when I go there, I've seen toucans, I've seen spider monkeys, all kinds of different birds and animals that get to this spot. And there's really not much to it. It's just a simple house with three bedrooms and a little pool that's filled up with cenote water when you go, and then when you leave, they empty that thing. And I just think it's an awesome place to go and hide and stay away from also all the noise and stuff. And beach-wise, my favorite spot is probably Puja. I love going there. I also love going to Siancan and staying a little bit away from the noise and all the beach clubs. If I have time, I love camping, so I love to go camping to Siancan. I haven't had time that often lately, but I'd love to do that. And restaurant or eating-wise, there's this spot in Puerto Morelos that I really like going. It's called Petita or La Petita. I think it's pretty famous. A lot of people know it. There's really not much to it. It looks like a very local seafood and fish restaurant there in Puerto Morelos. but trust me, it's the best seafood I've had in my life. And I also love going to Carrillo Puerto and eating at the market there, some cochinita or some of those relleno negro or those healthy stuff that you can eat right there. I love those spots.
Yeah, I've never been to the market at Carrillo Puerto.
Really? No, it's a really, really good experience to go eat there. And it's really, really local. There's a bunch of different options, fruit-wise, and if you like smoothies, and I'm a smoothie person, so I love fruits and stuff. They can make you awesome fruit there with maracuya and coconut and a bunch of things. And then you have this awesome cochinita or relleno, which is probably the best, and I think it's probably the best in the region, the one that you can get in that market.
Okay, well, I never turned down cochinita, so I'm going to have to I'll have to go down there and try it sometime.
Yeah, you've never tried cochinita?
No, I do. I have it every chance I get. I love it. I mean, it's one of those things that I try to have it. Like, I look for it on Sundays. I'll go try to have some cochinita, but to find really good cochinita sometimes is a little bit more difficult.
Of course. And then if you really want to have, frijol con puerco, there's a secret spot. This is one of the best.
Where? Tell me.
In Playa. It's called Fonda Cocina Económica Marisol. It's a really, really local place. It's on first south between 30 and 35th. It is just a local Cocina Económica Fonda, but every Monday you could go there and have the best frijol con puerco in town, and the prices you won't believe. It's for 60 pesos, something like that.
I love frijol con puerco. Oh my God, that's one of my favorites.
It's awesome. It's for Mondays. You need to eat this. If you live in the Yucatan, you need to eat this on Mondays. And it's your doctor that's telling you so.
Yes, we're being told by a doctor to have that.
Exactly.
Sorry, I was thinking I was gonna make a bad colonic joke after that, but no, I won't do that.
We can imagine. Don't worry.
Sorry about that. I apologize to my listeners on that.
Don't worry. I think it's really funny.
So, Luis, let me ask you, people want to reach out to you and get more information about the clinic, the services you offer. How can they best reach you?
Okay, there's our website first, and you can read about what we do, and there's also a contact form there that I personally read those emails, and the website is www.sanar, that's SANAR.org.mx. Okay, our phone number is 803-2039, and we're open only weekdays from 9 to 2 and 4 to 7 usually.
Okay, great. I'll make sure we're going to put that information on our website, so people can just copy, click on the link and go straight over to your website and everything. And we'll have this information. And if people have any questions, you can always reach out to me, askkay@locogringo.com, and I can hook you up with Luis, otherwise known as Dr. Suarez. But we can get you guys over there. I highly recommend the clinic, and it's a great place to look for some I guess more alternate. I don't know if you'd even call it maybe alternate therapies, but just some other options in more holistic healthcare.
For sure. Well, thank you very much, Kay. Thank you very much for having me in the show. I really enjoyed this conversation with you, and I'm looking forward to see you soon here. And about those last things you said, we like to call it integrative medicine more than, and this is more complementary therapy. Because alternative gives you the idea that it's either one thing or the other. And it's really not about one thing or the other. We can really work together, and we can really come up with a proposition that integrates the knowledge and maybe some treatments, maybe some medications that from scientific medicine, and maybe other things from other therapies that can provide a fully healing experience. That's the idea.
Oh, thank you for correcting me on that. I couldn't find the word I was looking for, and yes, integrative is definitely the word to use on that. So thank you for that clarification.
No problem.
Well, Luis, thanks so much for your time this morning. I really appreciate it. And I definitely will be following up with you guys because I need a 2017 checkup. It's been a while.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Okay, well, thank you very much, and I hope we'll hear from you soon. I'm looking forward to hear also a show online.
Thank you. Well, as I mentioned, you will find today's show notes at locogringo.com/podcasts, and there'll be a link over to SANAR's website, and you're going to find a list of their therapies, such as ozone therapy, the diagnostic scanner that we spoke about, and a lot of the other services that they offer when it comes to integrative medicine. So thanks so much for joining us, and until next week, hasta la vista.
Thanks for listening. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe. For links, show notes, and more information, head on over to locogringo.com or give us a call toll-free at 800-478-0081.
Porque se tragó la luna, estaba enferma la rana. Su madre soba que soba, dedos de pluma la panza. Pensó ranita que luna era una toronja blanca. Y aunque la luna es de leche, la leche estaba cortada. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma. Croa, croa, dedos de agua. Croa, croa.